What if the real battle isn't outside, but within your own mind? Discover how your ego secretly controls your thoughts, choices, and emotions. This isn't just psychology, it's the blueprint of your personality. Ready to unlock the truth? Understanding the Ego in Psychology. Introduction to the Ego in Psychology, particularly in Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytic theory. The Ego is one of the three key components of the personality structure, alongside the Id and the Superego. Id, primitive instinctual part of the mind-pleasure principle. Superego, moral conscience, internalized societal norms. Ego, the rational decision-making part that balances the Id and Superego. Definition of the Ego: the ego operates on the reality principle. It mediates between the desires of the Id, e.g., hunger, aggression, the moral constraints of the superego, e.g., guilt, ideals, the realities of the external world. Freud described the ego as a man on horseback who has to hold in check the superior strength of the horse. The horse represents the Id. Functions of the ego: reality testing, evaluates the environment and chooses realistic ways to satisfy desires. Defense mechanisms, unconscious strategies to protect the ego from anxiety or internal conflict, e.g., repression, denial, projection. Executive function makes decisions, plans, and coordinates behavior. Impulse control delays gratification to meet social norms and expectations. The development of the ego emerges around 2-3 years of age. Develops as a child, learns that not all desires can be immediately satisfied. Influenced by parental discipline, social interaction, personal experiences. Healthy vs. unhealthy ego. Healthy ego maintains balance between desires, morals, and reality. Leads to good decision making, emotional resilience, self-awareness. Unhealthy ego, weak ego, overpowered by Id or superego, impulsivity or excessive guilt. Inflated ego, grandiosity, denial of flaws, narcissistic traits. Fragile ego, easily threatened, overuses defense mechanisms. Implications in mental health. Many psychological disorders involve ego dysfunction. Anxiety disorders, ego overwhelmed by internal conflict. Personality disorders, maladaptive ego defenses. Depression, harsh superego dominates ego. Addiction, ego fails to regulate Id impulses. Therapy goal, strengthen the ego so the person can manage conflict and emotions more effectively. Ego, in modern psychology, the concept of the ego has evolved. Cognitive, behavioral therapy, CBT, doesn't use ego, but focuses on thought patterns. Humanistic psychology, e.g., Carl Rogers, emphasizes the self-concept, a modern equivalent of ego. Summary: the ego is a central part of personality. It ensures that instinctual drives are met in realistic, socially appropriate ways. A balanced ego contributes to healthy functioning, while dysfunction can lead to psychological issues. Strengthening the ego is often a key goal in therapy. Quote: to reflect where Id was, their ego shall be. Sigmund Freud, meaning through therapy and self-awareness, reason and self-control, ego can replace unconscious chaos Id.